Welcome to Climate Quickies, bite-sized nuggets of climate goodness from our TEDxLondon experts in under 5 minutes.
In this week's Climate Curious, we're talking about what you might think is a bit of a paradox: eco-friendly plastics. Whilst at TED 2025, Climate Curious co-host Maryam Pasha sat down with TED fellow and co-founder of Regenerative, Patricia Ayma Maldonado. She's been training bacteria to synthesise all natural plastics in a way that's completely biodegradable. Let's head over to bacteria trainer Patricia to hear more about this exciting opportunity to finally kick the can on single-use plastics. Stay curious.
So I am a bacteria trainer that is training bacteria to produce the plastic that takes care of the planet.
Okay, a bacteria trainer. I mean, I want to unpack every word in that sentence.
Yeah.
But what's interesting as I was finding out more about you and your work is that you have a very personal connection to this work from childhood. And do you mind just telling us a little bit about that, like your origin story?
I was born with underdeveloped bronchi, and I spent my childhood with my parents at the doctors. When I was sick was due to bacteria, so bacteria were really hurting me so much. It was a really bad thing for me. But then I grew up, I went to high school, and I met 2 other students that said me that they were like using bacteria for producing proteins, for solving hunger in the world. And from that moment, I knew that I wanted to become a bacteria trainer and do something big with them.
Right. A bacteria trainer. I have to admit, I have never heard this before. Will you tell us more?
Yeah. So basically, I have a group of bacteria that are super powerful. They are capable of producing a biodegradable plastic. Just as we overeat and we get fat, the same process for bacteria. They overeat and they get fat.
And what do they eat?
They can eat so many things, but what I do that is amazing is to prepare for them a very tasty organic waste. Such as, for example, when we produce beer, we have the leftover spent yeast, for example. I prepare this waste and I give it to the bacteria. They like a lot, by the way. And they produce this biodegradable plastic that is the internal reserve, the fat that I've said before. So this fat has the same properties as petrol-based plastic. So I train bacteria to do it better.
Wow.
That they can just accumulate 60-80% of their body, and they can just be the best at that.
So they get fatter on this delicious stuff. They create this waste that is, or this fat that is like plastic.
Yeah,
What
it
happened?
is plastic.
It is plastic.
It is organic plastic. Look, I have bring you like...
And now I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to go on our social channels to see this. But this is really a plastic bottle. Like,
there is a plastic bottle.
It's like, it is like every bottle that you would have in your bathroom.
It is soft. It is flexible.
And this is made from bacteria that has gotten fat and has created plastic.
Yeah. So it is a plastic that is really similar to conventional based plastics.
Okay.
And also we can just use it in the same machines as the petrol-based plastic is already being used.
Right.
So it is a perfect alternative because in 1 month we can assure that 90% of this plastic is eliminated, is degraded in the environment, biodegraded.
So what happens is if you make it, and then if you throw it away, it biodegrades.
Yeah, it biodegrades. It is food for microorganisms.
Okay.
Again, so it goes to the environment and it transforms into natural components.
And so this is truly circular.
This is a truly circular economy. We work with agri-food companies. They give us their organic wastes and we transform it into these plastics. Yeah.
Amazing. I'm actually kind of a bit blown away.
Yeah, it is.
Do you have this reaction?
Mind-blowing.
Do you have this reaction a lot?
Yeah. So many people ask me, how do these bacteria do it? Do you kill the bacteria? Whatever. Let me touch your plastic. It is something it's like magic, but it's not. It's so natural.
I have to ask, how did you guys figure this out?
So these bacteria are studied since 1978.
Okay.
But no one were applying this business model, type of model. So I discovered that bacteria while I was studying at university. I fell in love. Like I was obsessed. And then we built with our co-founders, we built like a business model based on that companies having the organic waste could take real value with our proposal.
Right.
Then for sure we develop our own technology. We have our own technology for doing that. We have a big know-how in preparing the organic waste. We have very super powerful bacteria in our collection for sure.
Yes.
But we came up with this business model that was really well accepted in the environment.
Right.
And from that, we take the idea. Right now, we are 30 people. We are a big company with 50 million investment.
That is amazing. How long does it take to produce like a plastic bottle like that?
From the starting point to when we have the sand, the white sand that is the bioplastic, you have to imagine like a white sand. This part of the process takes 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
and then
fast.
with this sand, we formulate it and we produce the plastic. It's quite fast.
That's very fast.
Yeah, this is really fast because the bacteria work continuously producing that plastic. It's just as a water waste system treatment. There we have very powerful bacteria cleaning water over the time. So this is just the same.
Right. What's fascinating to me is that you said that we've known about this bacteria for decades.
Yeah.
But we've not applied it in this way.
Yeah.
Is your background science, technology? Like, what is your background?
I am biotechnology, an environmental engineer.
Yeah. So as a scientist, as an engineer, I guess I'm just curious to know, it must have been, was it surprising? Was it that this technology existed and it was not being, this knowledge existed, it was not being applied in this way?
Kind of surprising, but it's quite understandable because biotechnology is really risky. It is sometimes hard because from 10 things you do, 9 are wrong, 9 are mistakes, 9 are... So it's quite... You need a big investment, so it's quite understandable that you cannot just see that type of innovations outside so easily. We have reactors, I don't know how to say it, 20,000 liters, that it's not too much, but we can go to 100,000 liters reactors for producing that type of processes. So it is really, we need a big investment there. We need good scientists working on that. We need a big structure. So it's quite, sometimes it's easy to think, okay, it's something that must have like a big structure to be applied,
What's your vision? What do you see as the potential here with this kind of innovation?
Yeah, we have two potentials. First, we are taking organic wastes for doing that. So these wastes don't get landfills.
Right.
And when they don't get landfills, they are not producing methane. So we have here a big potential of decarbonization.
Incredible.
Working with that wastes. So we are truly compromised on that, on having these wastes for producing bioplastics.
Amazing.
And that we are opening this market right now with big brands. We are working with luxury products such as perfumes, the cosmetics. So they are already acquiring our bioplastic, and this is going to replace recyclable plastic because recyclable plastic is the perfect illusion of sustainability.
Yes.
We need more virgin plastic for having the recycled one, and it also produces microplastic. So this is not a solution.
Yes.
We have to reduce the use of petrol-based plastics in certain applications and start replacing it with bioplastics. So.
And because one of the problems, right, with traditional petrol-based plastic is that when it biodegrades, the particles could go in the water, they go into our bodies, they're harmful. This side effect, you don't have this side effect.
Yeah, we are completely organic, just like an apple.
I love that.
You can. I don't recommend you to eat it, but because
but in terms of once it biodegrades, it goes into the soil or the water. It's not having the same harmful effects.
It's not having the same harmful effects.
If I was the big oil companies, I'd be really scared.
Well, it is a biotechnological revolution that is coming here.
Yeah.
We just like the Gore-Tex is the material of the shoes.
Yes.
Just like the Intel is the material or the system for the computers.
Yes.
We are going to be the plastic of sustainability, and that is unstoppable.
And that's incredible because sometimes the thing that trips me up when I think about getting rid of plastic, right, are things like medical uses, where I think.
Yeah.
How do we replace it here?
Yeah.
Right? Because you need the one-use thing for all of the reasons of safety and sterilization. This gives us an alternative.
Yeah, this gives us an alternative. We are working also with healthcare companies. And this is a bioplastic that is already used on prostheses, for example. It has the medical grade and it's organic. So it is a perfect substitute for drug delivery and this kind of applications.
Amazing. I don't know if we have any billionaires listening, but if we do, can you please make sure that we get this everywhere.
Yeah.
I want every type of plastic I interact with to be replaced by this.
I think we need more people investing on that. I think we have created just a good business model for also returning the profit and being really impactful. So we are here to welcome anybody that wants to just participate on this.
This is amazing. And I love it because I think sometimes we feel like we have these intractable solutions, these things that just feel unsolvable. But actually, here we are with an answer.
Here we are, and here we will be.
Yeah, amazing.
Thanks for listening to this quickie.
This episode was created by our superstar podcast team at TEDxLondon. Until next time,
Stay curious.